The morning Alina agreed to cover her aunt's shift at the Grand Meridian Hotel, she had no idea her life was about to tilt on its axis. Her Aunt Rosa had worked there as a cleaner for nearly 15 years, quietly polishing marble floors and changing silk sheets in rooms that cost more per night than Alina earned in a month at her campus cafe job. When Rosa called in sick, her voice thin and apologetic, Alina didn't hesitate. She tied her hair back, slipped into the spare pale blue housekeeping uniform, and promised herself it was only for one day. Just one day of mopping up after strangers who would never notice her. But the Grand Meridian had a way of noticing people when they least expected it. The hotel was a palace of glass chandeliers and gold-trimmed mirrors, where the air smelled faintly of lilies and expensive perfume. Alina felt small walking across the marble lobby, pushing a cart stacked with fresh towels. She kept her head down, focusing on the rhythm of work her aunt had taught her: knock twice, announce housekeeping, move swiftly, leave no trace. Yet there was something different about her presence. Maybe it was the way she carried herself, shoulders straight despite the uniform, or the quiet intelligence in her eyes. Guests passed her without a second glance, except one. He was standing near the grand staircase, tall and composed, dressed in a charcoal suit tailored to perfection. His name was Daniel Laurent, though Alina didn't know that yet. He was a self-made millionaire who owned tech companies and half the building she was cleaning. He had come to the Grand Meridian for a discreet meeting, hoping to escape the noise of his empire for a few hours. When he saw Alina step out of the private elevator on the executive floor, her cart temporarily left behind while she returned a misplaced key, he assumed she was a guest. There was nothing about her posture that suggested servitude. She moved with quiet confidence, examining the artwork on the wall as if she belonged there. "Excuse me," Daniel said politely, mistaking her thoughtful gaze for curiosity about the painting's history. Alina turned, surprised that someone so sharply dressed was addressing her. "Are you enjoying your stay?" he asked, offering a small smile. For a heartbeat, she considered correcting him. But before she could speak, the elevator doors opened again, and a manager rushed out, whispering urgently to Daniel about his meeting. In the confusion, Daniel handed Alina his business card. "If you're interested in art investments, I'd love to continue this conversation later," he said, assuming she was a woman of leisure with time to discuss such things. Alina stared at the card long after he disappeared. She almost laughed at the absurdity of it. A cleaner mistaken for a guest. A millionaire inviting her to discuss investments when she was worried about paying tuition. But instead of feeling embarrassed, she felt something unexpected: possibility. For the first time, someone had looked at her and seen more than a uniform. The truth came out that afternoon. Daniel spotted her again, this time kneeling in a suite, carefully scrubbing a stubborn stain from the marble floor. Recognition flickered across his face, followed by confusion. "You work here?" he asked, not unkindly, but genuinely surprised. Alina stood slowly, meeting his eyes without shame. "Just for today," she replied. "I'm covering my aunt's shift." There was no bitterness in her tone, only honesty. Daniel felt a strange admiration rise within him. She didn't apologize for her circumstances. She didn't shrink. Instead, she explained she was studying architecture, working 2 jobs, and helping her aunt whenever needed. The more she spoke, the more Daniel realized how wrong his first assumption had been, not because she wasn't wealthy, but because he had equated wealth with worth. Before leaving, Daniel made her an unexpected offer: an internship at his real estate development firm. "We need minds that understand hard work," he said quietly. "Not just balance sheets." Alina hesitated, unsure if it was charity or opportunity. But something in his steady gaze told her it was respect. That single shift changed everything. Alina learned that sometimes the world mistakes you for something greater than you believe you are, and instead of correcting it, you should grow into it. She walked into the Grand Meridian as a stand-in cleaner and walked out with a door to her future cracked wide open. If this story inspired you, remember, your current role does not define your destiny. Opportunities often arrive disguised as ordinary days. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories that remind you your breakthrough could be just one unexpected moment away.